Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. For those who don't know me, you can call me Mihar, and welcome to Mihar Visions. Today we'll be talking about a very concerning issue, police brutality. My condolences go out to George Floyd's family once again. I just want to do my part as an artist because I definitely commend everybody going out to the protests, and for me personally, I wasn't able to make them. With practicing social distancing for concern of very close elderly family members, I don't want to risk anybody getting sick around me. So I want to contribute as much as I can, and I came up with a great idea in my mind, and it is to conduct a Zoom call with a various group of friends that I've made throughout the years. And this Zoom call will really just reflect on the expectations of law enforcement, but also protesters, because it's hard to protest peacefully, especially when you have people trying to start a riot around you who are not there to protest. I just want to do my part in all this and have a constructive conversation about everything that's going on. And so let's dive in. But on the top left, Michaela, she was in a few of my classes. She's at Duquesne University. She's the president of Duquesne Television, so she'll also help me with marketing this a little bit and producing. McKees, longtime friend, knew him since the 7th grade.
You know, all my titles: Penn State graduate, ISP, IC, new graduate,
all that stuff. Omi, she is like my new sister now. I never had a little sister, but she's definitely the closest thing that I have to one.
That's cute.
Milo, no, thank you for coming here. I'm sorry all that happened to you, the arrest and all that. I hope you're fine. Keisha, the singer out here. I see you dropped that EP. Knew you from the AAMI days, the days in the playroom. Manny, Muhammad, you've been like my big brother. I knew you since I came into the AAMI. Definitely one of the people I admire. I admire your growth as a man, and just what you stand for. You got Steve, who didn't even show his face, but at least he got a nice profile picture out here. We'll be talking about the expectations of law enforcement and protesters. As you guys know, it's very sad with the George Floyd incident, how he was, murdered in broad daylight by people that we want to protect us and that we hope to feel safe around. But we know sometimes that's not always the case. So I just want to have like a constructive discussion about what we want to expect from law enforcement, but also as protesters, like how we can protest peacefully, even though sometimes clearly there's people who want to riot against us and start stuff like looting and all that craziness. But what are you guys' thoughts?
I mean, to start off, it's shitty all the way through. I mean, and plus this isn't something that is like new. You know what I mean? This is something that has been going on for like decades, like to where my grandparents were little and they grew up and had to go through it, and it's just like generational. You know what I'm saying? So I think at this point we're at a point where it's like we're that generation that's not about to take no shit. That's why we have all 50 states protesting at this point, plus 18 different countries.
I just think it's important whenever we do go out and protest, people listen to the organizers. You know what I'm saying? Like, there needs to be some order to things. So even if even if it's not 100% like what would be deemed a peaceful protest, there needs to be order to it. Like, we don't destroy Black-owned business. We don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't tear down our community at the same time.
Definitely agree with that. I do think though that we spent the majority of the 60s being peaceful. Yeah, I feel like the fact that we're even still protesting in 2020 causes for more than just us walking down the street. You know what I mean? Because I feel like now, because we're doing so much, because it's not all just peaceful. That's why shit's changing.
As Malcolm X said, we'll be non-violent with those who are non-violent with us.
I don't believe that people should be rioting and looting the same places they have to go back to. I'm pretty sure people that were rioting, looting like Sneaker Villa, I know y'all are the same people waiting in line to get them shoes, and you're, giving your money.
I think a big part of the message getting across, it's my job to uplift Black people's voices. Because if that's what I can do for justice and what's right, that's my obligation as a citizen to do that. And expectations from protesters, it's your right to be out there. To your, like you said, you're mad, you're angry. You're justified in feeling that way and getting that message across in any way that's going to be effective. And I expect a lot more citizen journalism as far as people posting on Twitter, posting on Facebook, and streaming things. And even though they might not be considered professional journalists, people are experiencing it firsthand. And without that evidence, how many things would go on unseen and justice not be served?
Thank you.
Yeah, that's real shit. And I want to say that I'm appreciative of those that are like not Black that are standing with us. You know what I'm saying? It did take me being in a protest to see that it's not just Black people standing up. Because for a minute I was biased to the fact, I'm like, how can white people understand where we are? Because it's like, this is our struggle. But at the end of the day, I saw like there was a lot of white people out there fighting with us. And there was also Black people who were not on our side. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of was like, it just changed my perspective on things. Like, it's not like, at this point, it's not just like, oh, we're against white people. It's like everybody against what's wrong.
This is a very broad topic. There's so many ways you can approach it. Definitely appreciative of all the people taking a stand, for what is right. It's not even a Black life that was lost. It was just that a life was lost from people that are sworn to protect, and we're all just tired of seeing it.
I was I was talking to you about my cousin getting shot in the mouth, and my sister's cousin getting shot in the mouth and getting shot in the he got shot in the side. Like, I don't know. I just felt like if they were going to do all that, they should have did that too when they was down there bullying Governor Wolf for us to get into the green phase, and they were all armored. So it's just like, why didn't y'all shoot them? But yeah, and then there were people who were just outsiders. Like, you could tell like what was the peaceful protest and what really wasn't. So, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, they're trained to, do certain things and stuff, but it's like where you're shooting at, and for y'all to just be shooting people in the face and the mouth, I mean, I feel like that's just extra.
I'd say the first goal should be to protect lives, even if it should also be make arrest and bring somebody to the court of law, not just end somebody's life on the spot.
Stems from money not being distributed into communities, and instead it's being distributed into the law enforcement system. So without saying you're prioritizing spending for law enforcement, you're saying you're not prioritizing or having faith in the community that they will do well on their own. Because educated stances come from resources, and if people don't have the resources, including money in public school systems, even just for like community parks and stuff like that, where people can gather and be together, I feel like capitalism has a lot to do with it.
Yes, I agree, actually. It just that's why communities like that are called at-risk communities, because they're at risk of violence and they're not getting enough resources to properly build and grow. They're no longer eligible to get a job, so now they're out trying to rob people to get food that they need. So it's just that cycle, and people get arrested, and now they have a hit, so they can't progress.
like a normal person would.
Or Minnesota, but they were taking 150,000, maybe a million or thousand, away from the police department and putting it into actual cities. And I was just like thinking, like, I don't understand why this wasn't thought of before. Instead, it's like the money isn't being invested into the communities at all because they have it. I mean, they take out a very large amount in taxes out of my check, so I would think that it's gonna go somewhere.
Communities, like, they've never really been a priority for the government, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's only been like really in a priority to see how much they can get from the Black community, not what they can give to them. It's like why mass incarceration is a big issue because the prison system is like, it gives a lot of money to all these people. I think there needs to be reforms in the laws that are like restrictive to them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they shouldn't be able to get off for just like murdering a child that's unarmed. Like, that, there should be no reason why a police officer should go free for that. You know what I mean? There needs,
Like, all the evidence is there. Even though I was talking about body cam footage with my sister, we don't need the body cam footage because it's right there. But it just still would be nice to, you know, just have that extra, you know, that extra content to just show the altercation, because
be a demilitarization of the police in general.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not even held to the same standards as the military because you can't go overseas and shoot, you know, whoever you want without there being consequences. So I feel like if we're going to militarize the police like what we do and be held to the same standards as the military.
There was two separate groups. There was the ones who was like getting all the shit out of Sneakerville and all that. And then there was the ones who were actually there to like protest. I seen people looting, and I'm not gonna lie, it was tempting, but I'm like, that's not what I'm here for.
thinking about how East Liberty went down, like, for like majority of it was peaceful, and like I didn't stay long enough to see how that might have changed at the end. But I knew they had people up on top of the rooftops, like shooting rubber bullets down at the crowd, like they were ready for something to pop off. And it just makes me wonder, like, it's like, why was it necessary? Like, it was a peaceful protest, and they said that there was a small group of looters. I just don't see how that warrants tear gas and rubber bullets and the National Guard. Like, I just don't understand.
They're like, not to, you know, divert it from like the racial thing, but it's like there have been a lot of things popping up where it's just a bunch of white people showing up to places with guns drawn, like, we can do whatever, and it's a lot of, you know, just peaceful stuff going on, but they come armed to the teeth, and you have people who just come with signs and stuff, and now, you know, like you said, it's tear gas and rubber bullets being shot, and it's just crazy that, like, I mean, there have been a few cases, I'm not gonna, you know, leave that out, like where a lot of the protesters or so-called protesters have, you know, used aggression towards the police. Like, I think there was one police officer that got shot in St. Louis. But I mean, those things are not happening. Like, obviously, that's something we do not want, you know, going down. We do not want people shooting police officers. But at the end of the day, like, so why are they thinking that everybody is doing it? Like, I think that's another thing why it's like, that's where protesting, like, you keep thinking that everybody is out to get you when they're not. They just don't want to be beaten up for no reason.
Majority of Black people protesting, the majority of white people protesting, is the fact that the cops can identify with the white people, especially white people with guns. I belong to a gun club. They have a meeting every month, and when new people join the club, and there are quite a few police officers who join that club. You know what I'm saying? I seen one that was like a rookie on the force, a part of the club. So they see people, especially two white people. I've seen a lot of people make the comparison, like, oh, they was just out there with their guns. Yeah, these are their homeboys, like their comrades. They identify with one another. That's why it's easier for a cop to use aggression against a Black person than it is a white person. They don't identify with us. That they are more ready to aggress upon Black protesters is because they understand we have a right to be angry. America exists because of a revolution that was started over something a lot more petty than black people getting killed in the streets. So in other words, they understand that we have a right not just to be mad, not just to protest, but to actually like revolt in a violent way. The people protesting to open up the government, like they don't have as big of a bone to pick than we do. You know what I'm saying? This shit ain't just about George Floyd.
And at the end of the day, they're the ones who are going to back each other up. They're not going to back you up. They're looking to cover their own asses. They're the ones who get paid to do this every day. So do your due diligence and make sure that you're the one who protects yourself as well as your friends, family members, or anyone like that.
It's that slogan you said, to serve and protect. Well, protect and serve. I think it should be flipped. Service comes first. It would have to be how they're paid for it would also have to shift in like a perfect world. Law enforcement, I think it would have to be people who are willing to do duty for duty's sake. And it would have to come from genuine people who I think that people would have to be tested to see if they're even willing to take that job. Because not everybody's cut out to be a police officer.
He was telling me that when he got beat up by police officers, they weren't white, they were black. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's kind of iffy, you just don't know.
I feel like police should have to do community service in the neighborhoods that they're going to be policing before they even start their job as an officer. There should be kind of like, I don't want to say like an initiation, but they should have to do something to make them, more familiar with the community and the people in it.
What's up, everybody? Happy Juneteenth. This is me actually making my ending because I failed to make it when I shot the video. So I hope you all enjoyed and learned something. If you guys have anything else you want to add about this conversation, please drop a comment and please like and subscribe. And I definitely plan to do more conversations like this. Let me know if you have any other topics you want me to talk about. So I'll see you guys next time.